Hello, everyone, and welcome to the What's Up Downtown podcast. I'm Nate Went, your host, here to kind of chronicle our adventures as a staff through COVID-19. So, first question is we're going to introduce our lovely marketing team here at the Alliance. So, Alyssa, if you would like to start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alyssa Fulner. I am the marketing manager for the Alliance.
And I am Carly Solomon. I am the marketing coordinator for the Alliance.
Well, welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on.
you.
So, as I said, we're trying to chronicleize some of the COVID-19 experiences here and give people an update on what staff has been up to since the start of, the shutdown and such like that. So let's kind of encapsulate that a little bit. I think really where the moment where it set in for all of us was during the St. Patrick's Parade when, we were already reared up to go, and then just right before the event was going to kick off, like a couple days before, got canceled. So want to kind of, if you guys can take us back to that moment, what were some of your guys' reactions to that?
Well, I remember the day that it happened where Jenna told us we probably are not going to come back to the office on Monday and not sure how long. I mean, we all thought it was going to be like 2 or 3 weeks, not even that long. We were like, oh, it'll be a week, maybe 2, and 3 months later. But I think the biggest change was just we had worked so hard to get the marketing materials and St. Patrick's Day Parade out. Carly can touch on that a little bit. Just the numbers she had on Facebook were incredible, and just knowing that kind of all went to waste really stinks, but we understand. So, Carly.
Yeah, that was tough. It was when we found out that it was being canceled, I think it was, nobody knew what to say really. And we were set to reach about 1 million people for that event on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Facebook alone. So
yeah, that was disappointing, but nothing you can do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since then, you guys have shifted incredibly during the time. Tell us about, I know, Alyssa, you had this huge, grandiose plan for what was going to happen this year with marketing. Like, what's some of the things that have kind of shifted since the start of COVID for us?
Yeah, I mean, we had really planned on changing our marketing a bit that we were used to and really making it focused on the local areas, coming to St. Charles for traveling and visiting. We were really going to tap into the influencer marketing and get people here in St. Charles to explore our hotels and all of our restaurants and entertainment that we have, and then hopefully blog about it and put, updates on social media of what we have. And all that kind of came to a halt because people couldn't leave their house. So, I mean, everything that we had planned just stopped. And Carly, myself, Jenna, we really had to just sit down and come up with what the heck can we still do to keep these businesses, because we have no idea how long this is going to last. We have no idea how our businesses are going to survive this. So we had plenty of Zoom calls and phone calls to just try and figure out what the heck can we do now to keep people alive. And that was basically what changed, was instead of marketing our town as a whole, really just helping our businesses market themselves individually. And then on top of it, us just trying to keep people informed of what was going on.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And for Carly, anything that you'd like to attest on there as well?
Well, we would kind of just go like where was open. So let's say they could have takeout. So then we did takeout Tuesday, and then we did the virtual takeout for restaurant week. We were just trying to really help where we could, what we were allowed to do.
Yeah, and Carly and myself started doing these marketing and tip videos to keep people engaged and to keep our businesses up to date with what was happening and what they could do during this time to still sell themselves. So for instance, we did, one video for like our health and wellness, our salon and spa, like telling them like you could easily be doing Zoom, taping yourself right now of how to keep, how to dye your hair at home, how to curl your hair at home, how to cut your hair at home, just to keep your customers at bay and to keep in front of them.
Right.
We also worked with a lot with one of our local retailers, Jeans and a Cute Top Shop, on getting the right type of ads on Facebook and reaching those right customers. Carly and I went into her Facebook and totally helped her build ads and build an audience so she could continue to sell clothes online. Which I know really helped her during this time too. So everything, our big plans just stopped, and we just were, what can we do to help these businesses individually and keep them alive? So
Yeah. Well, and to continue on that train, with helping out the businesses, I think one thing that's really helped is the video that you guys created with the Loves of Back to Business video. Tell us a little about the idea, the inspiration behind that, and kind of how it's been received so far.
Yeah, so I met Matt Love before any of this happened. Him and I got coffee. We just connected on LinkedIn just randomly, and when we first met, we were kind of they were out of our league, I should say. That was our first initial meeting. He works, he does film for NBC and big time people in the city, and, us being a nonprofit, we didn't really have the budget. So we didn't talk for a few months. It was just kind of here and there. And then COVID happened, and he reached out to me and just said, like, we live in St. Charles, how can we help? Which was amazing on their end that they cared that much. So we got on some phone calls with them, came up with some ideas. They had recently shot a video for a local church in the area. We watched that video, and Jenna and myself both started crying during it. So we were like, we need to work with these people. They're awesome. So the whole idea just kind of came back and forth from our ideas, their ideas, and it was really a back to business video. It kind of changed as COVID happened. So we wanted to hit each area of what our businesses are in St. Charles. So we featured a hotel, retail, restaurant, and entertainment industry. And so it basically was them just saying thank you for your support, these business owners, thanking all of the residents and anyone that came to St. Charles or got takeout or shopped online, thanking them for their support, and then letting them know, like, we're back in business and ready to go. So we actually released it the Thursday before the governor of Illinois made the announcement on Friday that we were going into phase 4. So it was perfect timing, and we have it all blasted all over social media. It's on our website, and then we also you can see it on local TV ads as well. So I mean, all of the comments we've received so far have just been amazing. And how awesome of a video it is. The Loves did unbelievable. So, yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's an absolute great accomplishment on your guys' part. So big hand to you guys for, doing that. What would you guys say is like some of your greatest accomplishments? Like, it could be that video, or like, what are some other things? It could be even something similar of just, working from home and getting up and ready by 7:00.
I mean, it was a huge transition for everybody, especially, people with little kids. And I mean, I guess just learning to cope and transition and still get our work done. And I think we've done a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Alyssa?
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, I think the greatest accomplishment for Carly and myself and our marketing team is just the fact that we were able to reach so many businesses and like we have always said, like, we're here to help you. We're here to educate you. If you have any questions, let us know. But people don't always utilize us. And like Carly, especially when she came on, Carly knows Facebook like the back of her hand. Like, she's a Facebook guru. And we have always tried to have sit down meetings with businesses and just be like, let us know. We want to help you. We want to get your right audiences. We want to help you on Facebook and on Instagram. And the businesses don't always, I mean, they don't have time to just sit down and come and help us. And now all of a sudden they had this a little bit of downtime. So they really, you know, we had talked to people we've never met before and just helped them, like, let us take over your computer, let us get inside your Facebook and really help you. So I think just making those connections and really seeing like what we did to help them was awesome. So
Absolutely. Well,
we still want to help you. So if you still need help when you're watching this, call Carly or myself and we will help you. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up all the questions we got for you guys. Stupendous job, as always. Is there anything that you guys would like to say to the St. Charles community before we wrap up here?
I think we're just happy that we can move forward with our events that are coming up. And they might look different, but I think they're still going to be super fun. And we're just excited to get back to work and still help the businesses and bring business to St. Charles.
Okay.
Yep.
Alyssa? Yep. All right. Very good. Well, that wraps up our staff podcast on the marketing side. We'll have 2 more segments here talking about some of the events and on the business side of things. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the What's Up Downtown podcast. Continuing on with our staff interviews here, I'm Nate Wendt, your host, and I'm joined by our 2 lovely events manager and now events coordinator. So introduce yourselves, guys. Give everyone what your guys' names are.
I'm Amy. I am the events manager.
I'm Haley, and I'm the events coordinator and admin.
Yeah, and new events
Yes.
coordinator and admin, because Haley has done such a terrific job that she has now been boosted up in the world. So congratulations.
Yay, Haley.
So want to talk and kind of encapsulate what it was like for the staff as we went through this COVID-19 pandemic and all the craziness around it. I think really the moment, as I discussed with Alyssa and Carly, that solidified it and made it real for at least me, I don't know about you guys, was the St. Patrick's Parade, when we were like all ready to go, all ready to set up, and then I think it was that Wednesday before, we had to shut down. So take us through like your guys' reactions when this stuff all started, and like especially with the St. Patrick's Parade when it hit home a little bit.
Yeah, so it was that Wednesday morning before the parade, and I was still very optimistic that the parade was going to happen. I didn't want to, have any negative feelings about it. So I was still gung-ho, ready to go, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then about 9, the news started coming in, and the phone calls started coming in. I was on the phone with some other parade organizers, and then within an hour, we had met as a team at our office, and we decided to cancel. And I was totally heartbroken. But ultimately, it just came down to the safety of the community. So we had to cancel, and what's happened since is just unbelievable. I mean, it just was like a crazy turn of events.
Yeah. And to keep on that, topic right there with, how things have progressed since then, take us through the crazy, wily world of events and how, it's changed over the start since March.
Absolutely. Well, after that, it was, we started to work at home and we didn't know what to do. And I was kind of just searching the internet for any advice, any resources, and then some podcasts and some webinars started coming out about how to handle it and what people were doing in the events industry. So I started latching onto that and feeling a little bit, like I wasn't alone in this. And after that, we just started, it was a lot of brainstorming, a lot of researching, a lot of talking with each other, and what are we going to do, what's going to happen, but really it's just a day-by-day thing. So things have been just changing every day. So I think I'm just getting used to that, which is maybe a good thing in the long run because it will make me grow stronger, but it's definitely been difficult.
Yeah. Haley, anything you'd like to add on to that?
I am still dipping my feet in as I just got promoted at the beginning of COVID. So Amy has been going full force into this. And I just have to say, I'm pretty sure she will be the like pro novice event manager by the time coronavirus actually does leave.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, we still are, even though we had to unfortunately cancel St. Pat's, we're still now looking to host some events now. So take us through the one that we're hosting currently with STC Live.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's an event that we normally have on the First Street Plaza. So we were not able to do that. Luckily, the restaurants and bars and breweries were able to open up with outdoor seating. So we took advantage of that. And now we are hosting STC Live at those establishments. It changes every week with where the event is held, as well as who the performer is. But it's every Wednesday and Friday through Labor Day from usually 6 to 7:30. Sometimes it changes, but it's usually around then. And we're very excited that we can continue to do this and also bring people into our establishments.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
Yeah.
continuing on with also on the subject of music, we got Jazz Weekend coming up in September. I know things have been a little bit crazy with trying to plan that because we originally wanted to merge the fine arts show, but as we recently announced, there's been an update where now we're just focusing on the Jazz Weekend while having an art component to it. So take us through that a little bit and what that weekend's going to look like.
Sure. So it's going to be still a 4-day event. It's September 10th through 13th. It's the weekend after Labor Day. And basically, it's going to change. It's going to look different, but it's still going to be awesome. We're still going to have music all over St. Charles, jazz music, of course. And maybe we're looking at different ideas, maybe a few surprises that would be different for Jazz Weekend this year. So stay tuned for that. But mainly, we're going to have the music inside the restaurants and bars and breweries. And we'll advertise that, and it's going to be a great weekend. Hopefully, we can get people just traveling from location to location and get some really great jazz music.
Okay. And then lastly, with Scarecrow Fest, we also announced some changes with that. Take us through what some of those changes are, what that's going to look like for this year.
Haley, you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll start and then Amy can take the back end of it, just because we've been really trying to modify the event to fit under Illinois Phase 4 guidelines to keep everybody safe. So to start off, we're going to keep this event focused on local. Instead of being as huge as it normally is, we're going to really focus on downtown St. Charles and all of St. Charles to keep it a local festival. And the scarecrows, we're still having the scarecrow contest. And our hope is to put scarecrows downtown throughout the downtown in front of businesses instead of in Lincoln Park to keep people spread out.
Yeah, we're excited. So yes, there is still a scarecrow contest. So please, people, make those scarecrows, support our businesses, support this festival. And we really want to keep these traditions going while still keeping our community safe.
All right. So if anyone's looking to get in contact to be able to submit and be a part of the Scarecrow contest, what's the best way to get in contact, or where can they find the application at?
The application for the Scarecrow contest is going to go live by the end of July on our website at stcalliance.org, or you could download it from there and mail it into the St. Charles Business Alliance. If you have any questions, you can always call our main line.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that wraps up kind of like the talking about our main events. I want to talk about you guys a little bit, so in terms of your guys and your accomplishments with, since COVID, what do you guys feel have been your greatest accomplishments? As I was talking to Carly and Alyssa, it could be that you guys, just got through and were able to help plan these events, or just waking up and being able to work from home at 7:30 every day.
I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm just really, 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 really happy that we've been able to modify our events and we haven't had to cancel except for the St. Patrick's Parade. It's just been awesome, all of us coming together to brainstorm and making things happen. So that's really my biggest accomplishment is, feeling I'm part of a team that wants to push forward and do our best and work to keep these events going. And if not, we're still smiling and we'll keep pushing forward and supporting our businesses in our beautiful town of St. Charles.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add to that, Haley?
Yeah, I think one of my huge accomplishments was learning to work from home, waking up and staying home and not having somewhere to go for a little bit. And just finding the dedication and power almost to sit down and work instead of sitting on a couch. But another big thing is I think it's a huge accomplishment to see how our team is formed in a different way that we haven't had to, because we've never had to work remote from one another. We sit in an office 6 feet away from one another. So I think it's a strong thing for our team to say that we've all learned to work from home and, like Amy said, only cancel one event.
Right. Yeah. No, beautiful sentiment. As always, Haley, you always have the best words.
You're like a poet.
So now to wrap up, before we start to wrap up the show here, what's one thing from pre-COVID-19, before we had to shut everything down in March, that you guys are missing right now?
Probably overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably just doing our events and being out in large crowds and gathering and seeing everybody. I mean, it's quite difficult to not be in those big groups for people that are like us, that enjoy the activity and also create it. So definitely also not being able to meet in our groups and our committees has been hard, but I think we've adapted well.
Yeah.
So, but we'll be back.
Haley, how about you?
Similar to Amy, I miss being in those large crowds, even just as simply as going to a restaurant or a brewery and not having to worry if I'm sitting the correct 6 feet away from someone. And then meeting, obviously, as a staff has been a big thing. So I've really treasured those Monday staff meetings that we've all gotten together again, just because I've missed human interaction. I think everyone says that they'd love to stay home and they could live in those houses you see on Facebook for $1,000 without any internet or phone or any contact. And I can officially say I cannot do that. I need someone other than my husband to talk to for 3 months. So
Absolutely. Well, excellent job as always, guys. Let's wrap this up here. So if there's anything that you guys would like to say to the St. Charles community right now, go now or forever hold your peace.
Oh, geez. Thank you so much, St. Charles, for all of your support. And I hope that I will see you out at STC Live, Jazz Weekend, and Scarecrow Fest, supporting our businesses in a safe way. And hopefully we'll all be back to a normal soon.
I just say stay hopeful, and we're still planning, so we hope to see you out in the next couple of months.
Absolutely. Well, again, awesome job, guys. Thank you. We're going to wrap up the events here. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with the business and tourism side that we've been working on. So until then, we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our last segment of our staff podcast. I'm Nate Wendt again. We are joined here with our amazing executive director, Jenna Sawicki, and our tourism and sales manager, Laura Purdy.
Hi.
Woo! So we're going to talk a little bit about what our experience has been like throughout this whole craziness of COVID. So to start it off, we want to encapsulate one thing where I think really, and talking with everyone else in the staff, what kind of was the point that it hit home for us was the St. Patrick's Parade. When we're all ready for this event to go, then the Wednesday before, things got crazy and we had to, unfortunately cancel the event. So take us through what was going through your guys' minds at the time, so that way we can, use it to look back on fondly.
I'll just go first. I think what I was doing was looking at the news and thinking to myself, is this really happening? And it didn't seem real. It seemed surreal. And I thought at the most we'd be closed for like 2 weeks. And I guess I never realized the severity of the whole situation. And I knew we had to do what was best for the community and for our businesses, but it never really hit home until Jenna put out the direction that we were all going to work from home.
Yeah. I think going back to St. Pat's, I remember that Monday before the event, I got a phone call from the chair of the parade committee saying, like, we should really look into this. This is coming in fast. And I remember how quickly my mindset changed. And I went from, no, we're not canceling the parade, to very quickly, by Wednesday morning, we happened to have a board meeting that Wednesday morning. And it was the topic of the board meeting of, should we cancel this? And by the end of that hour-and-a-half board meeting, we had decided to cancel.
Well, I think during that board meeting, we learned that Chicago had canceled.
Yeah, we learned Chicago had canceled. And then we came back, the whole staff came back to the office. We went to the whiteboard, and we just literally made an action plan immediately, and assigned everyone jobs of letting everyone know, letting participants know, and writing the press release, letting the sponsors know before it hit the news. And it was, we just had this whiteboard full of tasks to do, because there's so much involved with putting on an event.
And we didn't even have time to be sad.
No, it was like, go, go, go. And then by the end of that week, I had made sure everyone had a laptop to work on at home. And then the next week we were home.
Yep.
And so I haven't really even processed it yet, but it happened really, really fast. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And, from that point on, we were working from home. So it feels like those past couple months have just been a blur, to say the least. But, since then, how do you guys feel that we've kind of shifted for what our plans were pre-COVID to, when that finally hit home for us?
Well, I mean, yes, we put on events, but we put on events so that our businesses do better and get more business. But I think what has 100% shifted is all of our efforts and all of our social media, everything has been 100% for the businesses and for St. Charles to help support through this entire pandemic, and whatever it takes. I think, wouldn't you say?
I would agree. We've always stuck with our mission, which is to, support our St. Charles businesses and to bring people bring people to the businesses. And we've continued to do that. A lot of our programming and has pivoted, and it's been a lot more one-on-one. And everything has changed, but I think we have all along stuck within our mission and our goals. And I've been really proud of, the work we've put out.
I think within a day or two, we had another page on our website with takeout options and curbside pickup options for restaurants.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how quickly Nate, you worked, and the marketing team worked so fast to have these, this up, and to have this information up for like business listings, restaurant takeout, gift cards, up-to-date information, even just best practices for the businesses. It happened so fast. We were able to support the best we can, and we sort of got looked to. Other communities started looking to us, to what we were doing and what our website was doing. And that was really nice, and made us feel like we were on the right path in order to support our businesses.
Yeah, for sure.
And continue on like the train of supporting the businesses. Of course, we have the hotels here. Laura, I know you were doing a whole bunch of research on best practices, things like that. Tell us some things that you kind of learned during that time, or like some of like the main points that kind of came to your mind during that time.
Well, I mean, I had checked in with the hotels just to kind of gauge where they were. And I think they were kind of stunned and struck by, oh no, this is happening as well. And their occupancy rate went down to like 2%, which would be like one hotel room. And that was for people who had to travel for like immediate. And then also, gosh, I'm forgetting about some of this. We reached out to all the hotels to see if they would take in government, first responders, firefighters, police who needed to shelter in place, and if they would give some hotel rooms for that. And that, I forgot about that. But yeah, so they were all so cooperative, and I think almost every hotel said that they would absolutely be able to do that and to give some hotel rooms up if anyone needed them at all. So, but also I took a lot of webinars I felt like it was my job to kind of gather information on safety for hotels and, just the actual information on COVID and what was happening around the United States and what we could, and I sent it all to the hotels so that they, in case they weren't getting it from their corporate, which I'm sure they would, but so I sent them information and just anything that we could do. And I checked in with them regularly.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that we've gotten a lot of positive feedback on is our communication throughout this. 2 to 3 times a week, we were sending out emails to the hotels, to the businesses, restaurant, everybody, just so that they could hear things firsthand when information was coming from the governor. Sometimes a lot of that information is hard to understand and decipher. So we also would break it down so that they would understand exactly what that means for each business. And sometimes it was late night phone calls and text messages being like, what does that mean for me? And, working it through with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And, another thing that we communicated to the businesses was, that we're here to support them. So, and there were many of the efforts that we did for that. So I want to talk about those as well with like the Reopen St. Charles support grant, the Back to Business videos and such like that. So let's start with the grant. How did that kind of come about? And yeah.
Well, I think it started with you, Nate. I think we thought it would be a good idea really early on in the when we went into the pandemic, and I think Nate, you probably worked on 3 or 4 different versions of it as things would develop and more information would come, or we'd see best practices from other communities who were putting out grants. And we actually had a version 1 of the grant that wouldn't have supported as heavily as the grant that we finally got approved and that we ended up moving forward with. And it got halted up in some of our board meetings, and I'm actually very grateful for it because we ended up coming up with a better grant that was able to help and support more businesses and with a larger dollar amount. So I was very pleased. But yeah, that was an amazing part of the grant, was be able to help 55 total businesses in our community. And we ended up making communications and partnerships with businesses that we hadn't before, and it was getting even more closer to our businesses and really having these communicative banters. And there's just so much trust built with our businesses now because they really truly understand that our mission is to serve them and to help them and to see them thrive.
Yeah. And then with the Back to Business and the Good News videos, we wanted to feature businesses that were doing wonderful things. I mean, I think the first one that we featured was DRM, and how they were doing, you could buy a meal for a frontline worker at the hospital, and they thought they would maybe get 50 meals purchased. And I think within 2 or 3 days, they had just so many, they didn't even know what to do with. So I had spoken to them, and we decided to do a Good News video to show the community what these amazing businesses were doing. And I don't remember how many we did actually, Nate. Did we do about 10
I think
or
it was
more?
11 was our final number.
Okay, just people who were doing amazing things for the community, for hospital workers, for families who were out of work. And we just wanted the community to know that there were good things happening that were actually started by our businesses.
Yeah.
That
And I'll say
was so
personally,
amazing.
when we were looking at, finding the Good News videos, that actually was a really big light in my life because, working from home was pretty tough. I missed you guys very much. So being able to find things that were positive in our community that were, really inspiring just to see how our businesses, even during all this darkness, they just brought out so much light and made so much of a positive impact. So
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of our community and, so happy to be able to share those messages. So
Eyes are watering right now.
And I couldn't have said it better, Nate. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And then you and I did we did the Good News videos, and then we did the Back to Business videos because we wanted to show people that our community was striving and they were really working on getting back to business and to survive, because we don't want to see our businesses go away. And so we wanted to support them and we wanted to showcase them. And I think I think we did it.
I think you guys did an excellent job. I was always very proud of the work you guys put out, and showcasing who, how we are changing our efforts. We are very clean and, standard, safety standard abiding community. And we got that messaging out, and I think it is shown. As you can see, we have people visiting from Chicago, people visiting from out of town, because we've set that standard. And it's been showcased through our videos.
Of course, if anyone is watching this and is a business owner in the St. Charles community, wants to be a part, we're always looking for a new Back to Business video. So feel free to reach out to us. You can send an email to me or to our info@ account, info@stcalliance.org. Always happy to get new businesses involved in those videos. So now to go back to you guys, I want to ask you, what do you think have been your greatest accomplishments during this whole time period? It could be anything. I say that because, for me, I think one of my greatest achievements was just being able to get up at 7 o'clock, be up and ready to go, and then be ready for the day. So, and then being able to help out the businesses. So
I kept the schedule. I didn't change. I didn't deviate from my regular schedule. I got up, did my morning routine, which is either running or working out, and was behind my computer at 8 a.m. to see what was going on, see what we could do that day. And I love what you and I did with the good news and the Back to Business videos. But we also, you and I worked on these itineraries, which I am so excited about. Because through the research and the webinars that I took, we realized that people don't want to get on a plane and travel right now. And so we are soon to announce these wonderful itineraries that we came up with to give people a safe way to maybe get out of their house for a day or a weekend. And the whole team has worked on it. Our intern, Rachel, has worked on it, and we're really excited. So, when life gives you lemons, we made some lemonade. So
that's awesome.
Okay. Jenna, how about you?
And it's our greatest accomplishments?
Yes.
Okay. I kept my son alive. I think that's my greatest accomplishment. I have a 2.5-year-old, and my husband and I were both working full-time from home, which we were so lucky to still have jobs, and so lucky to have a healthy kid. But that was, and my kid's still alive and happy and healthy at this point. So, but I also just I was most proud of the staff. All of you guys. That was people. It was overwhelming how much people wanted to work with each other and to come up with ideas and willing to go above and beyond. And even when sometimes there were days where I couldn't give anymore because I was tapped out with my child, and I'd be going to the office at 10 o'clock at night trying to get work done, but everyone was willing to chip in when they were able to. And it's our new normal. And I hate that phrase, but I'm going to use it because it really became like sometimes I was working at 8 o'clock at night because that's when my son went down, and everyone was put up with my 10 p.m. emails, and I couldn't be more proud of the staff and how we we're not out of it, but we're definitely feel there's a rhythm that we have now. There's we're dealing with a lot of things really gracefully now, and I just couldn't be more proud of the staff.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up all the questions we got to you guys. You made it through the gauntlet. Good job. Woo!
Yay!
So, anything else that you'd like to say to the St. Charles community before we wrap up here?
I would just like to say how grateful I am to live in St. Charles in such a wonderful, supportive community. When we would check in with the businesses, and I thought I was going to get like some grim responses. Like I would check in with Steve from Flagship and like, how was business today? Did you have some curbside pickup? He's like, oh my God, Laura, this is great. People are really supportive. And I would check in with La Mesa or Giamia, and they were all very happy with being at 50%. Of what they normally would be at. And they were happy with that. And it's because of the St. Charles community and how supportive everyone was to get takeout and support our businesses. I'm thrilled with that, and I'm really proud to say I live here.
I'm just proud of the businesses and how they have just been scrappy and found a way to survive, and really just proud to support them and work for them and work for this community and everyone around us. And again, our staff is, and our board has just been amazing and really put a lot of trust in staff to come up with ideas. And we've been really lucky to have a very supportive board, supportive businesses. Like Laura said, sometimes you were expecting a grumpy phone call, and by the end of the phone call, you'd be best friends and crying together. So we're all in this together. We're in different boats, but we're all in this together.
And just a shout out to Blue Goose and how amazing they were throughout this whole thing.
Paul
Was making
his team.
3 a.m. runs to get sanitizer and everything for the community. So we're not out of the woods yet, but they really stepped up to the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I would like to say, to the St. Charles community, I'd like to say thank you, because really everyone stepped up so much. The business owners, people, on the What's Happening pages, I kept seeing, sometimes it can be a little bit of a political quagmire, but all I saw was people saying, how can we support local? Who's open? Who's doing takeout? Where can I buy gift cards? Really, it was such a tremendous outpouring. And, I couldn't be more proud of the community and be able to, even though I live in Geneva, I'm so proud to be able to be a part of this community, be able to serve this community, and be able to see so many inspiring and uplifting things every day. So thank you, St. Charles, so much for all you do. So, and thank you guys for being the best coworkers I could ever be.
Aww, I love you, Nate.
So with that, we'll wrap up the staff video here. So thank you everyone again for watching. We'll have more videos to come, more great things to come. So be sure to check those out. Until then, we hope everyone stays safe, stays healthy, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.